I am naturally inclined to work excessively, but I have one rule that I always abide by: have dinner at home with my wife. Unfortunately, this didn't work out in my previous marriage as my extensive work commitments caused tension and arguments, ultimately leading to our separation. However, with my second wife, things are different. Larissa appreciates my dedication to being a responsible family man. From the moment we got married, I made a firm decision to prioritize spending quality time with my family and made sure to leave work on time. I realized that I can't solely focus on earning money and neglect the emotional connection with my wife. One evening, my wife sent me a text message saying that she was delayed at her friend's place and wouldn't be able to make it home for dinner. She suggested that I try to cook something myself. Sitting alone at the table, feeling foolish, and pouring myself a glass of wine, I couldn't help but feel impatient. It was already 8 p.m., and my frustration began to grow. I tried calling her numerous times, assuming that she simply couldn't find her phone in her bag like usual. However, around 10 p.m., I finally made the decision to track her down. Unexpectedly, I went searching for her in the wrong place. It turns out, my intuition had only partially failed me. My wife works part-time at an art gallery where she focuses on exhibition design. Sometimes she comes across talented yet unrecognized artists whom galleries reject. In her spare time, she helps these artists find venues for their exhibitions, contemplates the placement of paintings, and even invites renowned critics to attend. Recently, her friend introduced her to Ernest, a rising star in the art world. Now, all my wife can talk about is Ernest, telling her friends and me about this exceptional artist she has met. I had encountered this talent once before, a frail, infirm individual with a ridiculous scarf around his neck. Today, I was tasked with assisting him in selling a painting. So my first step was to locate the address of this delicate master of the brush and pay him a visit at his residence. I dialed my wife once more, and a familiar yet inebriated feminine voice greeted me on the other end of the line. "Hello, Laura. Where on earth have you been? Why can't I reach you? Are you trying to mess with my head?" With each word, my irritation grew, and I cast furtive glances towards the downstairs windows, searching for my suspicions. "Don't fret, Cot. Karina and I have been chatting and drinking, and we completely lost track of time. I'll have some coffee, call a cab, and head over," my spouse replied in a sweet, deliberate tone. I seethed, scanning the window for her silhouette, but there was no sign of her. Through the window, I could only see 2 wine glasses on a tray. I quickly gathered all the information and decided to see this through to the end. "So you'll be staying late at Karina's? Should I wait for you at home? Or maybe I'll drop by?" I persisted, waiting for her to slip up or backtrack. "Alyosha, everything's fine. I'll be there soon, I promise. Kisses." Laura hung up the phone. Mentally, I disconnected from her and connected with her painter instead. Inside me, a storm raged, a tightening sensation in my chest. I plucked a rod from the flowered fence, gritted my teeth, and silently marched forward. The front doors were unlocked. As I stormed inside, I quickly realized that Laura wasn't here. Ernest cowered in a corner, clutching his brushes, or what was left of them, alongside an easel with an unfinished canvas. "Please, please, don't do anything to her. It was a one-time mistake. I love her, and she loves me. You don't understand? We're soul mates." The young man squeaked from behind the corner, but I no longer cared about him. From the painting, a naked girl playing a harp gazed at me. There was no doubt, it was my Larissa. The eyes, the lips, the hair, everything, even the moles on her body, were an exact match. Only someone who has been intimate with her would possess that knowledge. I expressed vehemently, making a conscious effort to limit my threats to mere words. In a surge of anger, I tore the painting from the easel and stormed out, my voice sounding unnaturally forceful in the moment. As I drove home, I tried to calm myself down and consider my next course of action. Upon arriving at our apartment, I found Larissa waiting for me, adorned in delicate lace lingerie, her way of reconciling after a quarrel. She was still slightly intoxicated but affectionate nevertheless. "Darling, please stop brooding." "I apologize, I really do. Karinka and I had an extensive chat, so much gossip to catch up on. My wife clung to my neck at the doorstep, unaware of her own portrait behind the closed door. You smell incredible. I adore it. A maelstrom of jealousy, anger, and passion surged within me, overpowering my self-control. However, any intimacy we once shared failed to transpire. In that moment, all I felt was disdain towards her. It was an undeniable realization that we were not meant for each other, so I presented her with the painting. Larissa made no attempt to deny it, instead positioning herself as the victim. I'm young, I desire freedom and frivolity, and you simply suffocated me. Besides, deep down, you knew everything and deliberately remained silent. No further explanations were needed. She swiftly gathered her belongings, lamenting, "What a scoundrel I am!" And she left. Rumor has it she went to the artist whom she believed eagerly awaited her. At the cottage, I set the painting ablaze, reaffirming the importance of trusting one's intuition. I later learned that after our divorce, she spent some time with Ernest, but their relationship ultimately crumbled as well. After all, such fleeting infatuations often meet a similar fate.